Erik, how long did it take between the celebration the other night from advancing to the finals and everybody kind of digging back in to what you guys need to do now going forward?
We did take a night just to acknowledge it and enjoy it. The players and the staff and families that were here. I really do I wanted everybody, to have perspective on how difficult this is, how extraordinary of a experience all of this is, being part of this bubble, being here for 80 plus days, surviving all of it and earning the right to compete for an NBA title. But we just got off a very competitive, hard-fought series, and emotionally, I don't think anybody's ready just to turn that page. But yesterday was a work day. For the players, it was a day just to recover and relax, and we got together last night and did some more prep today.
Next question, Tom D'Angelo.
Hey, Erik.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Erik, how was LeBron different today than he was the last time he wore a Heat uniform?
I don't know, but I just think it is a true testament to his greatness to be able to sustain this type of success year in, year out, different uniforms, and everybody, new players and new teams, going after him. It's a real testament to that commitment. He's seen everything, at this point in his career. It's just about winning, and his ability to do what he does at his age is incredibly uncommon. But there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, to be able to maintain that.
Thank you.
Next question, Kyle Tucker from The Athletic. Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, sorry about that. I know this has been talked about before, but you got a couple Kentucky guys there. One's the boss, and two have been a huge part of this run. And I know you've sort of addressed it, but what is it about Kentucky guys, do you think, they're the two you have anyway, and about their Kentucky experience, do you think that has prepared them to be ready for such a stage so soon?
Well, we have to have a few Kentucky guys on our team because of my boss. That's like a prerequisite. Somehow, some way, we got to get somebody from his alma mater on our roster. This final seems like a great recruiting pitch for Cal, doesn't it? And I'm not sure he's going to maximize that. We love Kentucky players because you're there to get better, to be pushed, to understand what it means to play for our team, play a role, and to train to become a pro at this level. You're going to face good competition in practice. You're going to be expected to work, and it's an environment that, as much as it possibly can prepare you for the pros, even though it's at the collegiate level. Our two guys played significantly different roles for Kentucky when they're in college, and that was part of the thing that we liked. They're both willing to play a role. Young players, oftentimes it's just about how many shots they can get and how many touches, scores, so they can improve their draft process. But if you just watch all of those games of Tyler and Bam, when we met with them, they both said, "Hey, we're capable of doing more." But you always take that with a grain of salt. Every player says that. But they truly did just commit to a role and then worked like crazy behind the scenes on their player development. And it's been obviously just a good fit with us, their mentality, and how we are.
In person, Tim Reynolds on your right. So much got made and much still gets made about how LeBron changed after 2011. How much did going through that change you as well? I mean, it seemed like that's when there was like a further commitment to positionless and putting together guys as groups instead of just individuals, and figuring out how you can play guys as five instead of where one guy would fit. It just seemed like a lot changed with you that off season too. How much did going through that help you out as well?
All those are great professional and life experiences, to be able to have that opportunity to grow. And, the first two teams I coached as a head coach were much different than that whole experience. And the game started to change, during that run. And we had to adapt and adjust accordingly. But, I learned and grew in the NBA in the 90s under Pat, and then the early 2000s. You look at those games systematically and schematically and just stylistically to compare to where it is right now, it's two different sports. So I'm just very grateful that I had that opportunity to be able to grow and be on that journey with that group. That was an amazing team, and everything that came about it. In many ways, just my personality. I hated it, and I'm an introvert, so I don't like that. But I think it was good to go through that. Sometimes, even as a professional, just to get out of your comfort zone and embrace it and see what happens when you get out on the other side of it. It feels like a totally different chapter in my life, but I'm truly grateful to be around those special players, that group that was so committed to coming together to compete for titles.
Dave, here in the front.
Erik, how long did it take you to come to terms back in 2014 after LeBron left to recognize, that there's going to be another chapter? And then what's it been like to see him make 5 more finals appearances since you guys parted ways?
Yeah, the first part of that, we went through the whole process. I went through my own, 6-week reflection period that summer. But then you get back to work. We've built a lot of different teams over the years, and we've been conditioned to move on and give everything, your heart and soul, to the next group and the next team. And we really thought that we had a championship contending team that next year. That's how we approached it. However, it's irrelevant what anybody else thought. We knew that we were losing. But when we made that midseason trade for Gorn, we made a promise to him that we would be competing for titles. It was just so unfortunate that CB wasn't able to finish the season. But we owed it to Gorn to fight for it and go for it. And we ended up fighting for the playoffs. Dwayne missed 25 games, but we were just there at the end. We got knocked out of the playoffs with 3 days to go. But you gained that experience. I think it was important to show Gorn that we were not going to tank and we were going to continue to build. And the next year was the year that we were able to go to Game 7. We thought that was a legit contending team. And we had that just really tough 7-game series with Toronto. We weren't able to make it to the conference finals to play against Cleveland. We thought we really had a chance that year. And that's what this game does to you sometimes. It breaks your heart. That year really broke our heart. We thought we really had a good run in us. And that was the second year. That's where CB again had to step away. But then to see, what LeBron has done when he moved on to Cleveland, and to hear it really is just a testament to his greatness and his commitment to winning, and to be able to do it with different rosters and uniforms is really remarkable.
Thank you, Coach. Goran will be right up.
Yeah, thank you.